In this next video, I'd like to introduce you to a wonderful but often overlooked region of France, the Dordogne. We'll visit a number of postcard villages you're going to love, plus I'll show you an amazing 11th century privately owned castle where we stay. And you're going to want to stick around to the end because I've got several off the beaten path places to visit for you as a bonus. All right, let's do this. The Dordogne is a department of France, and it's located in the region of Nouvelle-Aquitaine between the Loire Valley and the Pyrenees, and is named after the river Dordogne that runs through it. On my France's Magical Dordogne experience, we stay at a private castle called Chateau Marouat, and it's located in the northwest part of the Périgord, known as the Périgord Verte. It's a fortified castle from the 11th century and situated on 270 acres of beautiful grounds. Much of it wild forest, but some of it gorgeously manicured. If you look up the word castle in the dictionary, there's a picture of Chateau Marouat right next to it. It's wonderful. The owner's quarters and 11 bedrooms, all with private baths, have been lavishly decorated with period antiques and art throughout by owners Miles and Adriana Copeland. It's chock full of gorgeous oriental rugs, handcrafted furniture, suits of armor, tapestry, stained glass, rare tiles, and other original artwork. And there's even a huge game room. Miles and Adriana told me that when they originally purchased the property over 30 years ago, it had just a table and 2 chairs in it. Knowing what it looks like today, that's simply unbelievable to me. As you can imagine, it has a very large kitchen and dining room where we all eat. Samantha and her husband Chris, the castle chef, are a British couple who live year-round on the grounds and take care of most of the day-to-day aspects of the property. It also has what I understand to be the second largest pigeon house in the Dordogne, and it's so interesting inside and out. Ours is one of several groups of artists that enjoy the castle each year. There are photographers, painters, wellness programs, and even an invitation-only songwriters retreat held there. And in fact, past participants have included such music icons as Cher, John Bon Jovi, Ted Nugent, and others. The castle is surrounded by an endless variety of picturesque villages and postcard towns. Other impressive castles, plus peaceful rivers, seemingly endless vineyards and walnut orchards. Speaking of nearby villages, let's take a quick look at some of the more interesting ones that we visit. First, there's Brantôme. It's situated on the River Drôme, and its main feature is the truly impressive Benedictine Abbey of Brantôme, which is said to have been founded in 769 AD by Charlemagne. I recently learned that Charlemagne was crowned the first Holy Roman Emperor and earned the title of Father of Europe. The abbey has an 11th century bell tower considered to be one of the oldest in France, as well as caves built into the cliffs and once lived in by monks. There are several Michelin-starred restaurants that come highly recommended, one of which is called Les Moulins de l'Abbé, located in a picture-perfect setting on the river. Brantôme is a very walkable town with expertly manicured gardens and a very nice historic center complete with a variety of quaint shops and restaurant choices galore. Next, there's Bourdeille, and it's simply a postcard come to life. When you see it, you can't believe it even exists. There are some great little streets to walk, and the Chateau de Bourdeille is a highlight. But to me, the best thing to do in this tiny village is simply to walk along the river's edge and through its narrow streets, photographing it from every angle. Even the local dogs can appreciate the beauty. And why not? If you're thinking this might be an experience you'd be interested in, see the description below for a link to all the details of our upcoming trip to the Dordogne. With a population of fewer than 400, Saint-Jean-de-Caux, just down the road from Brantôme, is made up of only a few small streets and situated right on the Lecaux River, its namesake. It has a very picturesque castle that unfortunately I didn't get to enter, but it looks like it's open every day. Do check the schedule if you go because it has somewhat strange hours. There's a beautiful stone bridge, quaint little houses, tiny restaurants and shops. It's a great little place for a short visit and perhaps to grab a wonderful cup of French coffee. Then there's Ribérac. It's one of the larger towns in the area and has a wonderful Friday market. Unfortunately, it rained a bit on the day I showed up, but as with all my trips, when I can, I try to time our visits to coincide with market days because these often present the best opportunity to see the locals out during their weekly shopping and to eat some really great food. And Ribérac's market does not disappoint. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, one other stop we make is at Bouchade Abbey. This is a really peaceful and very accessible place to visit. And when I was there, I had it completely to myself. I discovered that it's an abandoned abbey founded in the 12th century by another order of monks. It was partly destroyed during the Wars of Religion in the 16th century, and much of it is still in ruins. But in the springtime, when I was there, it came complete with fields of wild wheat accented with beautiful bright red poppies. Sorry for the interruption, but when this video is done, be sure to check out my best travel tips playlist. There's a link in the description below. All right, let's get back to it. All right, thanks for sticking around, and for doing so, here's your bonus. On another day, we visit a caviar farm and processing plant in Neuwick, where we learn about its production and even have a tasting. Did you know that they farm sturgeon in this area and harvest their eggs for caviar? I didn't. There's also a nearby mill that processes walnuts and hazelnuts just across the way that we visit. The interior reminds me of a Rube Goldberg contraption. And there's even a small shop where people can buy their products. There are even caves in the Dordogne with Neolithic paintings dating from 19,000 BC. The one we visit is called Grotte de Villars, and these are the original paintings, not a recreation like you'll find in some places. I was really lucky and had a private tour of the caves led by the granddaughter of the man who owns the land on which they were discovered. Her name is Catherine. Because I was with her, I could take a few photographs inside, but normally photography isn't allowed. Sorry. The portion that's open to the public makes up only about 500 meters of an estimated 26-kilometer cave system. So what you see on the tour is roughly only 2% of what's actually there. It was discovered in December 1953 by members of the Speleo Club de Périgueux, after they noticed what appeared to be a foxhole emitting steam and went to explore. This is what they found, and I can't imagine what it must have been like to see it for the first time in tens of thousands of years. I don't know about you, but I love these kinds of experiences and activities because they're so unique and specific to the place. I try to include them on all my trips. Question of the day. Have you been to the Dordogne? Have you ever dreamt of staying in a castle like Chateau Marouat? Go ahead and put your answers in the comments below. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video about the villages and other sights to see in France's Dordogne. And do let me know in the comments if you want to see more like it, and give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, be sure to look around the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you don't miss an episode. And do me a favor, share this channel with at least one other person who's a great traveler just like you. Now, head on over to the ContinentalDrifter.co website for more interesting travel and photography tips and to get my latest download. Finally, join our community over on the Continental Drifter Facebook page and follow me on social media. And remember, drifters, life's too short not to travel.